they need to be heard. That's all I'm saying. We did not have that public consultation that we said we were going to do. We made the motion, I moved it, Councillor Lonsdale seconded it, and unfortunately we didn't get there. So I think as part of this project, we need to hear from the public somehow.
Well, it's amazing to me that I came up with the idea basically to have a few piles of earth when this all started up in an area that was an industrial area, zoned, just so the kids had somewhere to go and jump their bikes every so often. And yet somehow it managed to turn into a $100,000 project, which I'm very appreciative of, with the support of council. Now, I can't see it getting to that point. We can blow it into a big amount as we want. I'm very interested to hear the report and get rid of the hyperbole and the soapbox. Let's just go on.
Brett, can you tell us about this report? What's the... Yeah.
It's okay, Brett. We won't hurt you, we promise.
No, when I look at council's last motion, there's some things in there I think are pretty straightforward. Things like liability, liability is obviously never going to be straightforward, but drainage, landscaping, those are technical questions that have technical solutions. As far as liability goes with respect to this project, I don't think you'll ever see us fully absolved of liability. We'll do our best to limit it, and we have, I think we have a pretty good plan in place. What I was more focused on is, achieving the goal, and for me, I think I'd like to see council achieve this goal successfully, if that is their goal, and without as much public turmoil as we can. I think we can all admit that BMX parks and skate facilities are generally hot topics of discussion, but when properly thought out and cited correctly, then I think they're also very a good addition to the community. One of the things that struck me in here is that we want to start looking at some potential partners to help us out throughout this project, much like we are doing in Arcona. It'd be nice to have some fundraising help also. Or even just partners. And for me, when I look at potential partners, I look at the community as a partner in supporting it. So throughout the process of researching this report, it was very good for me because it was my first report on this topic. I got to go back through the history and look at everything, and that's basically what it reflected in my report. Try to stay hopefully as neutral as possible, because that's my job, and present the facts. Throughout the process, we have received both written and on the street feedback from people who are in opposition and who are also for this. And that was the basis of the recommendation, is that if that exists out there, and if we have, there's always going to be opponents to any project we have. But I thought it was fair to go out to the community and find out, what were some of their concerns with the project, collect that feedback, and see if there's something that maybe not necessarily cancel the project, but if there's any way to augment it to make sure that we can satisfy as many members as we can.
Okay. Councillor Russell.
I have to agree with the motion because last year it seemed like we went to hell and back about the whole issue of discussion, and I think we have a report in front of us that suggests that we have some public discussion. We would err on the side of the idiots if we didn't have some public discussion. I think Councillor Bonesteel was correct. We have two motions in front of us that give us direction in this staff. We've taken that direction. It's one more piece in a puzzle, and I think that's exactly where we've got to go. We've got to. We would err if we don't have public meetings. How they're set up and whatever, you can set them up with the terms of reference that give you the outcome you want. Let's be honest about it. What's the outcome you want? I mean, Councillor Bonesteel said, what is the outcome you want? I think you've got the outcome already in here, don't you? You know what you want. You want direction out there. Are there any more problems I haven't found out about? Because I don't want to have to try to solve them down the road. When we were doing this park next door here, guys, the problems that still exist with this one because we had funding that had to be spent really quickly and the process wasn't as good. So I think honestly, we've learned those lessons in the past, and I think Councillor Underwood has said, he could have 6 piles of dirt and he would have kept a bunch of kids happy that we heard at a public meeting during the election in Forest, and I've heard them on the street who said the same thing. But we have to do our due diligence, and thank you, Brent, for doing your due diligence for us. I think this is exactly what we need. Good on you.
Councillor.
Yeah, the consultation with the public is really critical. I'm not turning down $100,000 for Forest either. But I think it's important though that we do listen to the groups, like having the committee to work with us to look at some fundraising options or whatever that might be, I don't know. And if we're not gonna go there, we're not gonna go there. But certainly, I know that there are a number of community groups with very different opinions. You have the CHC, the early years, and all of those groups that are very supportive of enhancing Rotary Park. And as a passive play area, you have groups who want to enhance the trail. We both want that. We want to enhance that entry to the trail. That's a passive park area. And yes, there are groups like Optimus and Kiwanis and Rotary, way back, came to council about a skateboard park. So when we did the Rec and Leisure Master Plan, I mean, we got feedback from everywhere. That was a significant and an intensive public consultation process. That when they wrote that report, they weren't just throwing darts at the wall saying, "Oof, you know, here's what we think we should do." The recommendation for Forest was for the modular skateboard, some kind of skateboard park, because that was actually what the kids came to us and asked us for. So that was in the short-term recommendations. So it wasn't made up. It didn't come out of nowhere. It came from public feedback. The plan back in 2008 for the enhancements of trails and focus on heritage and all of those things in downtown Forest, that came from huge public consultation as well. So to make something successful, we need to hear from the community. We need to get the community on side. And right now they're not. They're divided. There's a group that would want, and they always will be, there's a group that will want this, there's a group that will want that. But nowhere in any of this, you know, you're right, Marty, I mean, the BMX thing got out of control because to be able to do it properly and to reduce liability and to construct it properly, all of a sudden we're talking $100,000 tab. So, so be it. I guess I just want to see us get that public feedback and maybe we do have, I know you don't like to hear this, maybe we do have to slow down and do it right. I want to do it right, I want to do it right, at least as long as I'm around, and I don't know how long that'll be. As long as I'm around, I want to see us do it right and get that feedback.
Point of personal privilege. I don't like the language I'm hearing. So all I'm asking is on this motion, let's be very specific as to what this council wants to accomplish in a public meeting. I'm not opposed to a public meeting, I agree with you, I think it's great planning. I absolutely essential. But I want to know what this council is saying in terms of this project, what do you want to hear from the public? But if you put this project at risk, it is a reconsideration, and that's all I'm saying. So if you want to go out and say to the public, we have made a commitment to this, we'd like to hear from you in terms of location, your concerns, I have no problem with that, that's good planning.
Part of the public meeting will be the motion that's been made. It's there for the public, we're getting public input. If we have to come back and we come back to council, it'll come back here, we can reconsider it at that time.
But I want
Or
that
not.
clearly indicated in the
Or
motion.
not.
Any public meeting, any consultation, 7 point is going to come back here.
7.4.
Any change to this is gonna come back. Deputy Mayor,
Yeah, it's really important that we leave open the option of, as Ruth has just said, the possibility of a skateboard park. If that's really what the public wants, we can't tie our hands and say we're only doing this because we really haven't had the input from the public that we need. And I'd love to see $100,000 spent in Forest as well. But don't tie our hands right now by saying it only can be this project because other better ideas might be out there on board. And that's why you really have to go to the public with an open mind.
if the feedback from the public comes back, that they want something different, then that's the decision we'll have to make, whether it's 2/3 to reconsider it, or whether we just forge through and put the BMX park. After the public have been heard.
Okay.
The motion is that public open house or meeting to be scheduled in the near future for the 2 ward representatives, council and staff to gather feedback from the public one last time prior to implementing this project. Basically the motion. Councilor Scott.
So are we saying that the discussion that we had prior to having the motion wasn't a good discussion? That we didn't look at this properly, that we didn't do our homework?